But also, like, if you don't want to be casual, if you do want to be hardcore, you can be hardcore, right? Just don't save scum. You can be hardcore, right? You don't. There's no. You can choose how to play. You are free to choose how to play, and that's great. I'm gonna need foundations underneath here. I might just do the rest of this first. XCOM, man. And in a way, I think the game designers know, or they must know. Because on the hardest difficulty in XCOM, the probability of you beating the game is so low. Like most games that you start on the hardest difficulty, you will not be able to beat if you don't save scum. But the number of people who have the achievement of beating the game on the hardest difficulty is much higher than the proportion of people who've played the game enough times to have probabilistically have had a reasonable chance of beating the game without save scumming. Does that make sense? Maybe that's too complicated. Maybe I'm being too math. Let me use a little less math. I'm pretty sure that the evidence from the achievements show that a lot of the people who got the achievement for beating the game on the hardest difficulty beat it by save scumming. Because, like, really, if you don't save scum, the chances of you beating it is so low. Like, you have to try so many times to beat it once. Like, it's ridiculous on the hardest difficulty. And not that save scumming makes it trivial. Save scumming doesn't make it trivial. Like, it's still hard even with save scumming. That's the funny part. On the hardest difficulty, the game is still hard even with save scumming. So, like, if you save scum your way through the hardest difficulty, it's not like I'm gonna criticize you for it. it's still plenty challenging. Right, like it's that hard. A lot of old rogue games are like that too. NetHack. I don't know if anybody's played NetHack. Who's gonna watch this video? The old roguelikes, like the actual old school roguelikes, you need to know so much about, like, to beat it you have to know so much about the game, and you have to be so lucky for the RNG to work in your favor. Have I ever beaten NetHack without save scumming? I don't think I have. Nor do I care to be honest. Like, if you like banned me from save scumming NetHack, I would never have played it in the first place. Right? Because as I said, I'm casual. I'm a pretty casual guy. I don't care enough about NetHack to want to try it enough times, like to actually make enough attempts to succeed, right? Like, I mean, I get it. It's challenge. It's a challenge, and if you complete the challenge, I suppose you feel really fulfilled because you know whoa, I beat the game properly without save scumming. All right, well, good for you. You know what? If you want to do that, good for you. I don't really want to do that. I have other things to do with my time. I have other games to play than an old ASCII roguelike. Right, like I want to do other things with my time as well. So I'm not gonna do it. But if you do it, good for you. Like, Hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a great time. But save scumming allowed me to experience NetHack without having to invest too much into it. And I appreciate that option. I really do. By the way, you like save scumming in NetHack, you don't there's no save option in NetHack, by the way. You have to manually copy the save file into a different location on your computer, close the game, move the save file back, open the game, load the game. Because otherwise it just auto-saves. It auto-saves, it doesn't allow you to manual save NetHack. So to save scum, you actually have to move files around on your computer. And like, separately, outside of the game, have different save files. So it's literally cheating. It's not an option in the game. You're moving files around outside the game, like it's literally cheating. But you know what? I did it. I did it, and if I didn't do it, I would have never beaten the game ever. And I would have never experienced the whole game ever. I mean, is that good? Is it good for people not to experience your game? I don't think so. Why make a game if people aren't going to see it or experience it, right? You know what I mean? Why make something so difficult to complete that nobody's gonna complete it? Like, as a game designer, like, is that good for you? It's not really, right? Oh, I made this game, nobody's beaten it. Like, is that a good thing? I mean, if you want to tell me, oh, I didn't really beat NetHack because I saved scum, that's fine. You can say that, and I accept it. But at least I saw what it is, right? At least I know what NetHack is. At least I know what the experience is like. At least I have experienced it. And that's what I want. To see what it's like. Do I put a window here? Kinda looks out into nothing. Let's not put a window there. Have I ever... So XCOM 2 is the latest one, right? Like, except for Chimera Squad. XCOM 2 is the XCOM 2 plus War of the Chosen expansion. That's the latest one. I've never beaten that on the hardest difficulty without save scumming. Did I ever beat XCOM 1 on the hardest difficulty without save scumming? No, right? Just trying to remember. Yeah, I don't think I have. And again, if save scumming didn't exist, I wouldn't even know like what it's like to beat the game on the hardest difficulty, save scumming or not, right? I mean, I wouldn't be able to appreciate what that accomplishment is. really wonder about that. Like making games that are so difficult that basically they're unbeatable. Not that they are unbeatable, but they're in practical terms. You give the game to 1,000 people. 1,000 people would not complete it. You give the game to like, I don't know, 100,000 people, maybe like 2 people would complete it. Like when the probability is that low, why make that game? Did you just make it for those 2 people? And it's not like we're not talking about Dark Souls kind of difficult, because, you know, despite what everyone says about Dark Souls, despite the memes, the Dark Souls memes, a lot of people have beaten Dark Souls. It's not... It feels difficult, I'm sure. But is it objectively difficult? It's not, because a lot of people manage to beat Dark Souls. Isn't that interesting? Like, people make memes about Dark Souls. People tend not to make memes about XCOM. Impossible difficulty XCOM. Like, there's not the same kind of memes. But if you like look at the number of people who have completed Dark Souls versus the number of people who have completed impossible difficulty XCOM without save scumming, I would say that probably fewer people have done XCOM on the hardest difficulty. I would guess. People don't make memes about that though. Interesting, right? Like, what feels difficult is not necessarily what is difficult. Does that need to be thicker? Do those need to be thicker? I mean, I think they'll be nicer if they're thicker. If I make those thicker, I should make the bridge thicker too. Alright, let's go thicken these up. It's not much. So completely enclosed it is. Let me fill that in. Like, if you couldn't save scum, I mean, I say that there's Iron Man mode. XCOM Impossible Difficulty Iron Man mode. There's hardcore mode in Minecraft too. How many people play hardcore mode in Minecraft? Does anyone play hardcore mode in Minecraft? Right? And like, is it something people asked for? And do people actually play it? I'm not, I don't know how to do that. Let me just make it 3 blocks. Who plays Minecraft hardcore mode? Well, I kinda do want to make this thicker. Maybe just not at the tree. And like, what do you do in Minecraft hardcore mode? Do you just like Try to kill the Ender Dragon. Let's maybe speedrun the Ender Dragon. Because like you wouldn't want to invest too much into the game, right? Like you wouldn't build the way I build. Do like decorative architecture. Because if you die, you just lose all that stuff. Like that sucks. So you would play a low investment playstyle, right? You would play a playstyle where you don't put very much into the game and you don't lose very much when you die and lose the whole game world. Right, so I guess you would speedrun the Ender Dragon. That makes the most sense to me. Diablo 3 Season has hardcore mode. Or just Diablo in general has hardcore mode. How do you play hardcore mode in Diablo? I guess you just play conservatively, right? I don't know if that really is a challenge or just slow. What I mean is, if you are afraid of dying, especially like in Diablo 3, you can always just stay on a lower difficulty so that your risk of dying is negligible. And if you stay on the lower difficulty, like your experience gain is slower, it takes you longer to find equipment, and so on and so forth. Basically the game is just slower. It's not harder, it's slower. So it's not... Is it really hardcore or just slow? I don't know if hardcore Diablo really is hardcore. And also people die, like they die to lag. They don't really die to enemies. Like they die when they lag and then the damage stacks up and then they just die. Diablo 3 is online only as well. Oh god, online only and hardcore mode together. So you don't die because you suck, you don't die because the enemies are difficult, you die because you lag. Isn't that awful? That seems like bad game design. You die because internet. Not your internet, but like somewhere between you and the Blizzard servers. The internet happened. Alright, let's ride around and let's go to the next station and think about that. How much time do I have? I have about like half an hour, 25 minutes. Minecart. What is this? 4-3. Okay, 4-4-4-5. And that's it. There's only 2 more stations and also the loop. And then we're done building the whole train network. 4-4 is Skyland. Oh, Skyland is gonna be complicated. Skyland is a floating island. Did I see a missing block just now? Skyland is a floating island, but the station is underground. So you come out from under the ground up into the floating island. So there's like underground, there's the surface, and then there's the floating island. And like conceptually I'm thinking like everything would just be pointing up, like you're just looking up into the sky from under the ground. Like you're just gonna look up Skyland. How that actually happens in detail, I have not thought of just yet. Alright, 4-4 Skyland. Let's go over there and have a look. Assuming that I didn't break the circuitry and have to fix something along the way.